confessional collective. Brother Matthew is obviously still here. Making her debut, producer Ellie, Katie Susie. We just basically add a name every time. You're very welcome.
Hello.
Listen very carefully. You have to be the voice of responsibility. Extra pressure. Today's comes from Tommy. Tommy, thank you very much. There's a slight accent that I have to do at the
fabulous.
end. So I hope I don't upset anyone with that. So, dear Father Simon, the brother from another gutter, and the ever-forgiving producer, who this day turns out to be producer Ellie. I start my tale of woe on a family skiing holiday in the early 90s, when we meet and make friends with a lovely group of well-educated, talented and destined for greatness younger couples. Much laughter and fun ensued, and a very happy holiday was had by all. Roll on some years later, and one of the guys has climbed to the corporate greasy pole and had obtained a senior posting for the family in Germany, along with the usual trappings of the expat, with lovely house, car, great family lifestyle just outside Dusseldorf. Obviously, we jumped at the chance to visit for free holidays as often as possible to impose on their hospitality and explore the surrounding areas. We move a while later to a particular visit when we were greeted on the driveway by a fantastic Porsche sports car.
Wow.
And a lovely new shiny blue BMW executive saloon.
Oh.
These were tremendously exciting for a family from London previously driving a mini metro. Our friend invited me to go for a spin with him while the wives could have a good chat in the kitchen in our absence.
Oh, right.
So it's it's the 50s.
Yeah.
Or something. Obviously, this was taken up with great gusto as a motorway without speed limits, of course, in Germany was part of the adventure. So off we go in the posh car with stylish leather seats and an interior that could have come out of a spaceship, and the sporty engine tone you get from German sports cars. All went very swimmingly, and we had been going for about 20 minutes when my friend came up with the idea that I should take the helm and put it through its paces. Very excited, we swapped places, having pulled over, obviously. And I pulled away from the minor road and joined the unrestricted motorway, and to the command of "put your foot down," changed down the gears and gave it full throttle. Well, we realized that something was very wrong when we were greeted by the pungent smell of petrol, silence from the engine, and rapid loss of speed. It became obvious that I had changed from fourth to first gear at full throttle and actually destroyed the engine. Oh dear. To say that I was slightly embarrassed would be an understatement, and wished for the ground to open up. It was, of course, only interior damage, interior Armageddon. The exterior still looked amazing. Frantic telephone calls were made from a local facility for our friend's wife to come out and tow us in his lovely new shiny blue BMW executive saloon. After our retrieval and we were back at the house, I apologized for the next couple of days continuously, but still felt justifiably terrible. A plan was hatched to tow the car to the nearest main dealer to try and get it repaired. This operation took place a few days later, with me driving the lifeless sports car and my friend in his shiny blue executive saloon doing the towing.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it was a very lonely place, albeit in stylish leather seats and an interior that could have come out of a spaceship. With the very hard muscle-building steering, now that the power assistance has disappeared, through the picturesque German countryside, accompanied by the sound of the ever-slowing hazard indicators as the car battery gradually went flat. Our destination, as I'm being towed here, is a very nice town called Wuppertal that was blessed with a very imposing overhead monorail supported by A-frame beams concreted into the ground. Well, if you ever go to Wuppertal and the German sports car garage is still in the same location, you will notice that the garage entrance is at a very sharp turn in the road after one of the A-frame pillars. I didn't notice this, and at some haste, with a lovely new shiny blue BMW executive saloon coming ever closer by the second, the previously described silence was now replaced by the sound of an automotive collision as I stuffed the front of the powerless sports car into the back of a lovely new shiny blue BMW executive saloon. More embarrassment. I believe it was at this point that the German car mechanic came over, shook his head, and I think he might have said, "For you, Tommy, the drive is over."
I don't think he did say that.
He might have said that. What? What are you saying?
Please.
Father Simon and the best-looking team on radio.
Obviously.
I do not seek forgiveness from our friends. As a couple, they remain our best and most loved friends we have followed them around the world, staying at their palatial houses and sharing all the trappings of a very senior corporate lifestyle. Also, the story has been relayed at many functions and gatherings. I do, however, seek forgiveness for subjecting our friend's wife, who was tasked to explain what had happened, to the insurance company to enable a claim on the warranty. I'm sure every word that she said was truthful and contained no errors or exaggerations at all, because you don't do that.
No, you don't.
When you're feeling, because it's not right in any country. So it's Tommy. So Tommy wrecked the engine and then proceeded to wreck every other bit of the executive sports car. Sister Ellie speaks first.
Goodness me. I think definitely... I know he's not looking for forgiveness, but I don't think he should have it.
Okay.
He's riding on the coattails of his friend.
He's a sponge, isn't he? He's a sponger.
And I just think that this is, may consciously, unconsciously, I don't know, but I think that he's jealous. And I think that he saw those lovely sports cars in the drive and was like, I'm going to mess them both up.
So you're not forgiving?
Maybe I'm too cold and heartless.
I think you are, almost certainly. That's how you
Well, I think you've got a point. I mean, who goes from fourth into first? That's really difficult.
That's
you
bad.
can't go from fourth into first. They're nowhere near each other, in my experience.
Have you driven a Porsche?
Not recently, no. But we should remember that he's taken us through the joys of Wuppertal and their A-frame concrete beams, and for that reason alone, surely we should be forgiving. Because which of us could honestly say, having been in Wuppertal with their A-frame beams, we wouldn't have done the same? So I forgive.
Plus, we got the German mechanic to speak.
Yes, we did, with his ridiculous, definitely made-up phrase.